Alright guys, so today we are working with Mscoco hair, and I have two 26s, one 24, and a 20-inch frontal. Here is what the hair looks like straight out of the bag. It is a natural brown color, and it has this really beautiful kind of wave curl to it. Now, I wanted to keep this style of curl, but the thing is I actually do have to put a black rinse on this hair because, as you guys know, I do not like this natural color. I don't like it on my skin tone. I prefer darker hair with me. So this video is going to be more of a styling video rather than a how to dye or create the wig or anything. I've been giving you guys a lot of dyeing videos and a lot of wig making videos, so I'm just going to do a styling tutorial with this one. So here is the frontal. It looks like it is not pre-plucked. Yeah, it's definitely not pre-plucked, so I will have to go in there, bleach my knots, and pluck it, and then I am just going to dye the hair, and I'll come back with the wig already made so I can show you guys how I style it. You can start this on flat iron hair, or you can start this on a couple-day-old hair, which this is. So the first thing you're going to want to do is section your hair off. What I'm going to do is start with the crown slash the frontal, and I'm going to just leave enough hair to cover those tracks behind there. Alright, so I basically have sectioned off the hair. So I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the back, and then I have my front, which will be done in a different direction, which is why I went ahead and sectioned that off on its own. The tutorial is pretty basic, but I know a lot of people have asked about it on my Instagram, and a lot of people like how I curl my wigs. So this is just my go-to glam look. What I'm gonna do is take the first two, this is technically 2 rows of tracks, and I'm gonna get this hair out of my way. Now, what I do like to use, and I've already sprayed this in the hair off camera, but I like to use the Kendra blow dry spray. And this just gives it a really sleek and shiny appearance. You don't want to use too much. I would say just like maybe 2 to 3 sprays per quadrant. I'm going to use about maybe 1 to 1.5 inch portion. So this can be split into 2, and the way I'm going to curl this is going this way. So basically making sure that the root is straight, and I'm going to curl it inwards towards the opposite end, if that makes sense. So I'm going to curl this side towards the middle of the head. So I'm keeping it flat, and I'm just wrapping it around this wand. I'm not twisting the hair. I don't want to make it any kind of like bouncy curl or anything. I just want it to be a regular kind of Shirley Temple curl. And once that's off of the curling iron, you're just going to take your duckbill clip and clip it up as so. Nice and neat. Okay guys, so the first quadrant is done, and it is nicely pin curled, tightly wound together. We're going to start on our second quadrant, which is right next to it, but in this side we're going to curl going in that direction. So this one we curl coming this way, this one we're going to curl going in that direction. Our wand curler, we're going to set it right at the root, make sure that's nice and straight as usual. And we're going to curl this way. first 2 quadrants done. We're basically about a third of the way done with curling. I'm going to do the second 2 quadrants in the exact same fashion. So this half is going to come this way and this half is going to go that way. Now I don't think I need to continue to show you guys me just doing the same thing over and over. It's repetitive. It only gets different when we get up to the frontal part. So I'm going to go ahead and be back in a jiffy and we'll finish up with the frontal. Alright guys, so the entire back portion is done horizontally. Now to do the front, we are going to do these vertically, and I'm going to do both going opposite of each other, if that makes sense. So this portion, I'm going to curl going that way, and then this portion I'm going to curl going this way. Alright you guys, so this is the finished look of how your pin curl should look. And I do something a little bit different with this one. I'm not going to spray the holy hell out of it with hairspray. I'm actually going to leave this to cool overnight. And then in the morning we'll come back, we'll brush it out, and we will see the finished look. Alright you guys, so the next step is pretty self-explanatory. You're just going to take out the clips as carefully as possible. So this is how your curls should look. They should be falling in the direction which you curled them. And there's literally only one thing left to do. So that is to take a paddle brush, I should be showing this in front, and gently brush the curls. A little different. You're gonna brush that back in this direction. Because then what you do is push it forward later. So you brush it back and then you push it forward. But don't brush it forward. Your final step, and this is kind of a huge step, is one I always take. Take your paddle brush. You're going to load that bad boy up with hairspray. And then you're going to brush through the hair. You're gonna need to reload a couple of times, but that's okay. Trust me, hairspray is pretty cheap. But do you see the difference that makes? Like, look at this side, and then look at this side. That's what's gonna give you that nice sheen. And the hair is gonna still be bouncy, and it's gonna be thick and beautiful, but it's gonna be a little more orderly, so it's not gonna look bushy. Alright guys, so here is the finished look, and this is the finished curling tutorial. I'm going to go ahead and apply this to my head so we can see how it came out. Alright guys, so this is pretty much the finished look of the hair. It's very soft, very bouncy, and it's pretty much my signature go-to look when I'm doing like a glam curl, or I don't know what kind of style I want to do with the hair. So this will always be so easy that like I always do it. And if I ever start doing hair for a living, pretty much if you come to me, this will be the style that I'm gonna do because it's the one I do best. Anyway, let's talk really quickly about the hair. Mscoco hair, girl, you did that, because this hair has been put through some When I tell you guys that I had a couple of different videos in mind when I first started doing this, and this was not going to be the end tutorial, but this is just something that I decided to do kind of as a last resort. put this hair through some hell. Specifically the frontal. I put the frontal through some hell, trying out some new things, which I should not have done with brand new hair. But we'll get to that later. I'm working on a way to hide the knots a little bit better. So be on the lookout for that video. Once I perfected that, you guys will see it here on YouTube. As far as the hair goes, I only have a couple of cons, so I want to get that out the way. The hair does seem to have a small problem with tangling right at the ends. If you guys can see that, it doesn't always do it, but sometimes when you run your hands through it, you might catch a snag here and there. Now keep in mind, this is curly hair. The hair came curly. I straightened it, curled it, I straightened it, I recurled it, I washed it, I did that. I did a lot of stuff to this hair, but I will say that the hair was already tangling on itself with the first wash, so that might just be something that has to do with the hair. I did wash this hair with a clarifying shampoo. One of the times I washed it like twice. And that's not a good thing. Do not wash your hair with clarifying shampoo. It will strip the hair of any natural oils that cannot be replenished through a scalp because it's no longer attached to a scalp. I did it because I was doing some things and I needed to completely clean this hair off because I was messing it up and I needed to restart. So again, this hair bounced back. It still has luster. It's still looking good. It's not doing that weird like thing that hair does when you clarify it. So I will give that to her. I did also sit in the conditioner bath for a few hours, so yeah. But basically, the hair lifts really great. You guys are gonna have to take my word for that because, as I said before, that footage had to go. I was doing some crazy stuff, and y'all not gonna sit here underneath my video and talk about me. So. Yeah, but if you are planning on dyeing this hair, it does bleach. It bleaches beautifully. Now, let's see. Things I don't like. The frontal is actually too small for my liking. This parting space that you see, this is all the parting space that you do get. So just be wary of that. You do not have a shit ton of parting space with this unit. With this frontal, it's just about that much parting space. I do wish it was a little bigger. However, I will say that the bundles are very full, and the fact that they make up for that small frontal, so it doesn't look like the hair's thin or anything. 3 bundles more than enough to fill in that disparity between the small frontal and the rest of the wig. See, the hair is super duper freaking soft. It takes curling like a dream. Does not straighten very well though. It doesn't straighten bone straight. Let me put that out there. Because the hair is naturally curly, I didn't expect it to straighten bone straight, but it does that kind of like Brazilian blowout thing when you do straighten it. So it kind of has like that frizz to it, that body, you know what I'm talking about? Like it's not necessarily straight. You know, if you go outside in humidity, it's going to immediately poof up. That's kind of how it does when you straighten it, when you flat iron it. Now, when I actually wand curled it with my little handy wand curl, which you guys will see in the tutorial, it was very neat. It's some of the neater wand curls that I was able to put into this bad boy. So I was actually surprised at the difference in how it straightened with a flat iron versus how it straightened with a hot tool. I guess they're all technically hot tools, but you guys get what I'm saying, you know. The plucking was no problem. I was able to pluck this bad boy in probably, I'd say about 30 minutes. It didn't take me long to pluck this at all. The hair comes out fairly easy. That's not necessarily a good thing all the time. That does mean that the frontal may bald a little quicker if you're doing a lot of manipulative styles and you're wearing it quite often. I will say that this hair, just from feeling it, I would say this is like 6 to 8 month hair. This isn't like, depending on how long you keep it, but like this is something you can install maybe once, twice, 3 times if you've really taken care of it, but it's not something that's going to last you 2 to 3 years, which I don't think any hair out there that is the affordable kind is going to last you that long. Like, you're going to have to kick off some ducats if you're trying to keep a wig on for that long. So she's super affordable. Mscoco is super affordable, and so if that's what you're looking for, I know prom time is here. You know what I'm saying? Prom time is here. So you guys definitely can take this to heart, take this curl tutorial to heart, and hit up Mscoco for some bundles and have you looking real fly for your little proms. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say about the hair itself. It's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, so it takes curl well. It does take color well, even though I did not show you that on camera. I did put a black rinse on this bad boy just to bring it back to a healthy, shiny color. I did bleach the knots. The knots bleached beautiful. I kind of over bleached my knots, but that's not a hair problem. That's a me problem. So yeah, basically that's just about it for this tutorial, you guys. I hope that you liked it. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you did like it, and leave your comments and questions down below. And if you've ever tried Mscoco hair, please leave your opinion down below as well, and I'll be sure to answer everyone when I can. I get a lot of comments now. That's so great. That's so awesome. Thank you guys for being supportive. I love you so much. Mwah. And I'll see you in my next tutorial.